Welcome to the podcast Behind the Counter with your host, me, Heidi Blum, also known as the Food Czar. I was born and bred in Livingston, New Jersey, and I have seen firsthand over the past few years how food and the people behind the counter can bring a community together. We all have a story. We all have an appetite. Each episode will explore the thread between food, people, and community, and the stories that weave them all together. So let's get behind the counter and dig in. Here we go.
This is Behind the Counter.
Behind the counter.
With the Food Czar. Here's Heidi.
Welcome back to another episode of Behind the Counter with the Food Czar, which is me, Heidi Blum. And today I was really given the red carpet today here at the Wonder Store in Livingston. It is their grand opening day, and I have the absolute pleasure of talking to Jason Rusk, who is Jason, what's your title at the Wonder Store?
I'm the Executive Vice President of Restaurant Operations.
So you're pretty important. Thank you for sitting with me today. I feel
I
honored.
actually think the dishwasher is probably more important than me, but yes, thank you.
Some days. Okay, so Jason, tell me sort of how you got involved in the Wonder Store.
Yeah, so I cut my teeth in the restaurant industry over the last 30 years or so, and started, kind of working as an expediter, running food out to tables, and then, did a variety of different jobs within the restaurant industry or within the restaurants, and then also above store. So I've run supply chain and procurement and franchise and operations and a lot of different things, and I knew somebody that was helping advise Mark Laurie on Wonder, and they made the introduction, and that was about 18 months ago, and so I've been with Wonder officially for a year, and the rest is history.
So you've really been with them since they turned over to the store away from the vans.
The mobile restaurants where we are bringing it to people's doors, I would say, doing the same thing, just in a little bit different of a way, and candidly more variety and more options versus the mobile restaurants.
So everyone around here who probably listens to my podcast or watches my videos and in the community, we remember the mobile Wonder trucks hitting Livingston during COVID.
Yes.
And it was like this groundbreaking thing because we really couldn't go anywhere, and we really, we missed our being in the city and having our city meals and stuff like that. And it was like one person posted about it, and then all of a sudden we saw all the purple Wonder trucks driving around town delivering restaurant food that we couldn't get access to at the time, and sometimes really couldn't get access to in general because it's hard to get reservations at these certain places.
Yeah.
So tell me how the Wonder, like that platform, the Wonder Mobile, and then all of a sudden it stopped, and how did we end up here at the Wonder Store?
Well, I think first, we've enjoyed serving New Jersey and Livingston for quite some time. So I think to your point, this isn't our first, step into Livingston. The mobile restaurants started really from this idea of how do you bring really great, exceptional quality, chef-inspired cuisines right to people's doors. And I think, if you're a restaurant company like the ones that I've worked for in the past, and you're handing off that delivery to somebody else, you don't really have a lot of control over that experience or what the food is like. So the mobile restaurants were a way to be able to get great quality food delivered right to your door. And as we continue to evolve, we realized that people wanted the cuisine types that we offer, but they also wanted to be able to choose between restaurants and where I can get pizza and a burger within the same order. So as we evolved into our locations or stores that we have now, it was really to be able to make the food more accessible across all restaurants to more people.
So, what's amazing, I'm a family of 5, and when it's Sunday night dinner, and everyone, the texts start flying on all of our phones, because of course we're sitting in different rooms or sitting next to each other and watching something, and say, all right, what's for Sunday dinner? And it's one person says Chinese, one person says I want a Greek salad, one person. So what's amazing is the concept here that you can get really something for everybody.
That's right. In the restaurant industry, we oftentimes call that the veto vote, and you start having, people put things on their menu that don't really necessarily make sense, but they do it so that, somebody kind of halfway begrudgingly says, yeah, okay, I'll go to that restaurant. And that's the challenge with traditional restaurant is one cuisine type, one menu. And so, in this veto vote thing, somebody loses. But at Wonder, because you can order across all different restaurants and get any cuisine, customize it the way that you want, no one loses, everyone wins.
Yeah. Oh, I like that line, by the way. So let's talk about the restaurants. There's in the Livingston location, there's approximately, I think, up to what they say, 20 restaurants are going to be here.
20 restaurants, and actually it'll continue to grow, over some time where we add additional restaurants. And I think the great part about what we have is we have a catalog of different restaurants that we can offer and customize really to the people of Livingston, what's important to them. So this isn't just somebody somewhere in an office deciding. It's the community gets to help kind of choose their cuisines and the different things that go in there. We have a base of different restaurants that offer the variety, but certainly can kind of plug and play different cuisine types to the community that we're in.
So it's interesting. So let's say, pizza always does well, but let's just say for argument's sake, the pizza restaurant within the Wonder store is not getting much business. Does Wonder then see that and say, you know what, this isn't a big hit here, let's put in something else, or let's just take it away? You have that ability?
Yeah, we do have the ability and the flexibility with our kitchens. I think most restaurants, the equipment's bolted to the floor, not ours. So we can pivot and adjust and move things around. And as, cuisine types and preferences change over time, we're not locked into what we, did 5 years ago. We can continue to adjust and adapt. I would say back to the pizza comment though, maybe pizza doesn't do well, but maybe it's because it's thin crust versus, a Detroit brick,
yes.
Pizza. So I think for us, we also are looking at the different varieties and variations of the cuisine type as well.
Can you add, in certain restaurants, can you add and take away specific items within a restaurant?
You mean on the menu
yeah,
side? Yeah. We can adjust. Mostly because all of our stuff is, or the food that we prepare and the way that it comes to life isn't a printed menu. It's digital, and so with the kitchens being flexible, the menus being flexible because they're digital, we can adjust very, very quickly compared to most.
That's amazing. So let's talk about how does the food come to life? You have some pretty heavy hitters. In terms of chefs of restaurants like Bobby Flay, Marcus Samuelson, Mark Murphy, and
Jose
so on.
Andres,
yes, and so on, right? So, which is, I'm a foodie and live by the Food Network, so it's very exciting. So how does that happen? Are they behind it? Is it, what is it? Is it their exact menu, their exact recipe? Is it?
Yeah, it's a great question. And actually, there's really two avenues. There's these chefs, like you mentioned, the Bobby Flays, but then there's also these really well-known within their small community restaurants like Tejas Barbecue, which is done in Texas, just outside of Houston. And so these beloved restaurants, Maidon's another one that's in Washington, D.C., Michelin star chefs, fantastic menus. And you have these Bobby Flay examples. We work and partner with them hip to hip to be able to curate the menus. And they're really the ones helping us kind of determine how we get what we offer and how it comes to life and what it tastes like. And my favorite thing is when Bobby Flay was tasting the steak, he was like, "Wow, this is like as if I cooked it." And it was just really rewarding to see, that not only are we working with these chefs, but they're really impressed with what we're able to deliver on.
So is using Bobby Flay as the example, is Bobby Flay teaching Wonder chefs how to make his steak?
Great question. So one of the things that we've been able to do, we have a commissary that we do all the kind of prepping for the restaurants. And the reason that we do it that way is to make sure that it's consistent rather than having 20 different people cutting steaks 20 different ways. You have one person in a commissary that's basically preparing it and getting it ready, cutting it as an example, so that it meets the same specification every time. And then we've used, things like new technology around ovens and turbo chefs specifically that allow us to be able to prepare the food as you would, and it to be tasted in Bobby Flay's restaurants.
That's amazing. So, is there a dedicated commissary for the Livingston location? I know there's Springfield, which is near her too. So, is that like that happens every day and then gets distributed to the local Wonder stores?
Yes, basically. So it's here in New Jersey. We have a place that kind of prepares everything and gets it ready for the restaurants, and then it ships out to them every day with fresh quality ingredients. This isn't like you're getting a delivery once a week. It's every single day.
So what happens if there's like a mad rush for Bobby Flay steak and they're like, oh my God, we have one piece left. Like, who knew this was going to be like the hot item today? What happens?
Well, let me talk about what happens in a traditional restaurant when you run out of something. The server comes out and says, it's 86. We don't have it anymore. For us, because it is all digital and we own the back end, we know the quantities that are in the restaurant produced from and distributed from our where they're preparing the food all the way into the restaurant. We know how many there are on hand. And it's all taken care of on the platform, meaning if there's only one left and that last one sold, it then says the item sold out for the day. So it tells the person before they've even ordered that it's not available.
Okay. So I was saying, like, what's cool is like we have, like, during COVID, I ordered for Thanksgiving from a Austin barbecue place, right? And they shipped it, and it's like sort of like Gold Belly also. Like, my son is in Colorado. I just sent him his birthday, happy birthday, Matthew.
I love that.
A birthday, maybe he knows it's coming or not, but a birthday bagel box. So this is really sort of like, instead of going to Gold Belly and getting those special meals, you really have access to it every day, all day.
That's right. And you think, but by the way, I'm spent the last 18 years in Colorado. Absolutely love Colorado.
That's amazing.
But yeah, I think that the thing that really is unique is about how many times you're going to have Mexican, cuisine. Are you going to do that 7 days a week? Probably not. But with Wonder, because there's so much variety that we're making to order specifically for you. This isn't like it's, we're just delivering it. We're making it in our kitchens. You can have it 7 days a week because there's so much variety across cuisine types and menu items. So,
for example, I'm going to say this. So, a lot of people in town, when they saw Wonder was opening, like, I think their first reaction was, how is this going to affect the local restaurants here? And being here and seeing all the variety, I understand the answer. I'm going to let you say the answer, and then let's see if we're like-minded. Yeah.
Look, I mean, I think the more options, the more variety there is for people to choose from, I think that's a good thing, not a bad thing. Our goal is really just to provide more cuisines to more people all across the country. And when you think of different parts of the country, in Oklahoma, maybe they don't have the Indian food that we do, that we can be able to provide people. And so I think we view it much more as great restaurants with the help of some great chefs, curating the menus for us, being able to get it to people faster, hotter, and back to the point of everybody wins because you get what you want. I think that's a win-win.
Yeah, I agree. Especially, like I said, the Sunday night thing. Everyone, instead of ordering 5 different DoorDashes,
right.
we just get it from one specific place.
It's one delivery fee.
Yeah. Let's talk about delivery. So, who delivers? Are you on DoorDash, or is it your own Wonder trucks?
So most of our orders do come in 1P, although I think, or first party, meaning our app. But they also, you can come in store and order here or pick it up here. We are on DoorDash and Uber and some of those other third-party platforms as individual restaurants. So not as Wonder, but Lime Salt would be, one of the restaurants that you can choose from. But again, a majority of our orders are actually through our own platform. And I think people see the value in it because you can't order across restaurants on DoorDash and those other third parties, but for ours you can. And then we have couriers that relay couriers that we work with that are doing the deliveries for us, and they actually work. Or Relay was purchased or acquired by Wonder just a few months ago.
Oh, awesome. Okay. So we are a small, close community here in Livingston. How do you see Wonder integrating into the community instead of just being like sort of a quote unquote franchise type of place?
Yeah, I mean, first, all of our restaurants and locations are company owned. They're not franchised like what you would see. But I think, the most important thing for us, especially with our teams, they're from these communities. They're from these, Livingston and other areas in the tri-state area. So, for us, it's very personal because this is their home. And I think the way that we're able to help and impact because of our growth, give people that maybe wouldn't have the same opportunity to grow into something like myself, starting as a food runner all the way into doing what I'm doing today. I think that is one of the coolest things that we can be able to provide the community of Livingston and others. But I also believe that the way that we can get out there and talk about it, the way that we can serve people better and serve great food, I think that helps nourish people too, and that's a positive thing.
Food is like, it's fuel for the soul.
That's right.
It definitely is. So let's talk about the food specifically. Do you think, I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, do you think are the best restaurants to order from?
So,
what are the most popular, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, lime salt is definitely one that everyone loves, and that's burrito bowls and salads and tacos. I'll say I love ordering it because I love to be able to customize and add extra protein, and it works for me. I will tell you, my cheat day, Detroit Brick Pizza is like one of my absolute favorites.
Really?
It's worth a second Peloton ride.
I'm with you on that, by the way. Yeah. So, because the Detroit pizza, I mean, that's like, I don't know, New Jersey, we're very specific about our pizza. We have really good pizza. But if you're saying I may have to...
It's definitely worth it. I will tell you, my absolute to die for is Tejas and the brisket. I have never had brisket so good as Tejas barbecue.
I feel like I know Tejas. You said it's outside of Houston. They have like a big sign outside that I think I know it.
Yeah. And randomly, the other thing that you would not expect outside of the brisket that you absolutely have to try is the carrot souffle. It is,
really?
Yes, it is not at all what you would expect. It is one of the best, side dishes I have ever had.
Is there a dessert restaurant on here?
There is. We do have a dessert restaurant, kind of that's curated from a bunch of different, like Magnolia Bakery.
I was just going to say Magnolia. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And so we offer those within that dessert restaurant. But again, you can add those to any restaurant or any order that you're ordering from.
Now, in terms, so like we said before, is you have all these like heavy hitter chefs. You also have Wonder restaurants as well within the 20 restaurants that are here.
Yeah, most of them are where we're working with other restaurants or other chefs, but we have a whole team of chefs ourselves that have their own accolades and awards that are working out of Parsippany, helping not only partner with the chefs that we have, but also curate their own as well. And many restaurant companies, all restaurant companies generally have that. So we do have a couple of them that are curated by our chefs, but most are partnered with others.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. So obviously Wonder, we know what the word Wonder is, but why Wonder?
Why the name Wonder?
Yeah, why the name Wonder?
There's a lot of different speculation of Mark Laurie and the name of Wonder. I think, what it really means to me is wonder is really about imagination and what are the possibilities. And when you think about, I wonder if, that's really what I think wonder does. It answers kind of the thing that hasn't been done before, the thing that people want, and in a really unique way.
I think that's great. I think It's wonderful.
I love that
right?
too.
And it's wonderful to have you part of the community here. So where do you guys, like, what's the goal? What's the goal for the next year, 5 years, 10 years?
So at the end of this year, we'll have 35 locations across the tri-state area, and then continuing to expand another 55 next year. So we'll be at 90 by the end of 2026. So it will be a busy, busy couple of years.
Wow.
Wait.
No, we're in 24.
So yeah, at the end of 25. What am I even saying? So yeah, it'll be a busy year, but a lot of fun.
So to end the podcast, I think this is a great concept, and I truly hope everybody understands it and comes and enjoys meals from all different places.
Yep.
I'm going to give you the last minute to sell it to our community.
Yeah, I think for the people of Livingston and New Jersey, honestly, the challenge exists out there where consumers are pressured from pricing. Palates are continuing to evolve and change all across the country. People want things customized. They want to be able to have the convenience and speed. All of these things consumers want. People, even myself, who goes and orders at restaurants, wants these things. And Wonder does all of those. I can order great quality food across many different cuisine types. There is no veto vote, so my entire party can get whatever they want. That's customized to them, delivered, quickly within 35 minutes, right to their front door. Hotter, better, faster than others, and all at a price that you can afford.
Speaking of which, if I was having a party at my house or anywhere, do you guys cater?
We have not done catering yet, but it is something that we are expanding on in the very near future, because I think there's a lot of opportunity there.
Agreed. Yeah, I like that though. Hotter, faster, better. So, hotter, faster, better. What's your Peloton? Is it the bike?
Yeah.
You look like a bike guy.
I am definitely a bike guy. I also love to run, but I am definitely a bike guy.
Yeah. Who's your favorite instructor?
Cody.
Why am I not surprised, by the way? Why am I not surprised? I could read it. I could have told you, you could have asked me who your favorite instructor is. Yeah.
I mean, I'll do Matt and some others, but I love Cody. He's got the great sense of humor.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. Well, thank you so much. I'm so excited that you guys are here. I think this is going to be amazing, and I'm excited for the wonderful meals ahead.
Well, thank you so much, Heidi, for having me. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to serving the community of Livingston.
You got it. Thank you so much for your time.
Take care.
If you are hearing this message, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I'm truly grateful for you and this opportunity. The purpose of the Behind the Counter podcast is to bring food, people, and community together. I hope you'll return for more episodes and explore with me. I want to personally thank Fran Linnell of Design 68 for my amazing Behind the Counter podcast logo, and Travis Lohenberg for my awesome Behind the Counter music, and all the guests that take their time to sit and talk with me. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and if you did, please leave a review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you hear your podcasts. If you'd like to support the Behind the Counter podcast, please subscribe, share with your friends and family, and you can follow me on Instagram at Heidi Blum. If you have any feedback or stories that you want to share, you can email me at foodsarbtc@gmail.com.